Hello and welcome back to Crypto Nerd. My name is AJ, here to bring you this cryptocurrency video. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the price of Bitcoin and an imminent breakout in the Bitcoin charts and a very important support level. We're also going to be taking a look at the price of Ethereum, which last night absolutely exploded. I do put a lot of time and effort into these videos and I do enjoy making them for you, so I'd be much appreciated if you could smash a like, subscribe and share this video so we can get this video out to as many people as possible and grow this channel together. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into the charts. Jumping straight on into the Bitcoin charts then, taking a look at this rising wedge, which I told you in yesterday's video. And I told you if we were to break down out of this rising wedge, which we in fact did, we would actually have very strong support at the $56,500 level. And you can see this white line along here, which is that $56,500 level. And this is very, very important resistance when we are below it and support when we are above it. And you can see that we are above it at the moment, so it is acting as support. So you can see Bitcoin is finding lots of support when we are in fact above this level, and you can see that Bitcoin has bounced off it a couple times, and you can see that yesterday Bitcoin did find perfect support along this level. And I did actually tell you this in yesterday's video, if we were to break down we would most likely find support on this level and bounce off it. So I will show you that clip from yesterday's video now. So if Bitcoin were to break down out of this rising wedge, this would be a key support level for Bitcoin, because we could see Bitcoin actually bounce off this level because it is strong support. So as you can see from that short clip from yesterday's video, I told you that Bitcoin could find support on this very important support level, which it did in fact do, and we have seen a bounce off this level. We did go for the retest of this yellow line, which is the bottom of the rising wedge, and we did break above it, which invalidates this this rising wedge pattern. So then what's next for the price of Bitcoin in the immediate short term? Well, you can see that Bitcoin is in fact sort of forming this M pattern, as you can see right here. It's not confirmed yet because we do need to see Bitcoin testing this support level again, which it does look like Bitcoin is heading towards. It is heading towards that support level at our white line. And you can see that back here, when Bitcoin formed an M pattern, we did actually break down below our white support level, and we did go up to test that previous support at the resistance there, and we did see a rejection and we did get a dump in the price of Bitcoin. And the target for this move was in fact all the way down at $53,900 ish. And if this were to happen and Bitcoin did form this M pattern and we did break down out of this support level, we could see a pretty significant pullback in the price of Bitcoin. And this measured move would be all the way down at $53,400 ish, and that would in fact take Bitcoin close to this bottom right here, potentially forming a double bottom pattern. This is just something we need to look out for. It's not certain that we are going to see Bitcoin down at those levels again, but it is something that's happened before and could happen again. And if we do break down, we could see that price target. However, again, this is very, very strong support at this white line. As you can see, Bitcoin found support here, more support here, and lots of support here. So it is a very important support level. So we could see Bitcoin in fact come down to this level again, like it did yesterday, and we could see a bounce off this level. But we do have to take in mind we could see a breakdown of this level as well. There is another pattern I found on the Bitcoin hourly charts then, and that is in fact this bigger rising wedge. It's a bigger rising wedge than we saw in yesterday's video. However, the price target is the same as yesterday's one, down at $53,300. If we break down out of this rising wedge, we could put a short position in. However, we do need to be very aware of this very strong support level, because as you saw in that short clip earlier, the price of Bitcoin did break down out of that rising wedge yesterday, and we did find perfect support along this level. So if Bitcoin were to break down out of this rising wedge, we do need to be very aware of this level, because we could see Bitcoin in fact come down, test this support level and bounce off it again. As always though, I will keep you updated over on Twitter about this rising wedge and this potential M pattern, which could break out in the next couple of hours. Moving on then, taking a look at the rising wedge on the 4 hour, which I've been showing you for the past couple of videos as well. You can see that the price target, if we were to break to the upside, is just under 70k at around $69,500, and if we were to break to the downside, the target would be all the way down at $47,500. You can see that last night Bitcoin was testing the resistance at the top of the rising wedge. However, we did see a rejection, and we are right now seeing Bitcoin actually have some price action towards the downside, and we could potentially see Bitcoin all the way down at this support level at the yellow line, which is the bottom of the rising wedge. And this chart can also be linked with the head and shoulders pattern on the 1 hour, which is this one right here, because if Bitcoin were to break down out of this pattern, I'm not saying it will, but it is a possibility because this is a bearish pattern. We could see the price of Bitcoin all the way down at $47,500, and that would mean that if we did break down out of that rising wedge, it would mean that we would see Bitcoin come down and actually test this support level at the neckline of this potential head and shoulders pattern, because as you can see here, it is around the $47,500 level at this yellow line, and that would form that head and shoulders pattern. And if we were to break down out of this head and shoulders pattern below the neckline, we would potentially see Bitcoin all the way down at $32,000 or $31,000, sorry, and that would put a potential pause on the bull market. So again, I'm not telling you that we are going to see Bitcoin actually break down out of this head and shoulders pattern. I'm just stating that if we were to see Bitcoin break down out of this rising wedge, and we did see that price target at that $47,500 level, we would see Bitcoin actually testing the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern, which could be fatal for Bitcoin. Again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It is just something we need to keep in mind, because it could be fatal for the price of Bitcoin. So we do want to hope that Bitcoin does break up out of this rising wedge, because then we would most likely see that 70k Bitcoin. The target is just under 70k, but you could round it up to 70k. It's not far off $500, and a $500 move for Bitcoin is a very, very small move. So I would really like to see Bitcoin actually break up out of this rising wedge, and if it were to break up, I would put a long position in, and same if it breaks to the downside, I would put a short position in. I will be keeping you updated on this chart, but the breakout could be imminent. Moving on to the price of Ethereum then, which again last night had some nice price action to the upside, seeing new all-time highs at $54,082, and it does not look like Ethereum wants to stop at all. As you can see, we have seen a slight pullback, but Ethereum is recovering nicely, and we could see even more all-time highs today. So as you can see, this trade back here, this diamond pattern and this rising wedge, both targets were met perfectly as I expected. Unfortunately, I did take out all of my profits at this second price target, as I was not expecting Ethereum to pump the way it did. However, it did, and I still have my Ethereum long-term holdings, HODL holdings, so I am not bothered at all. So what's next for the price of Ethereum? Well, I would expect Ethereum to sort of consolidate, forming a consolidation pattern that we then could trade off, making more gains like we did back here. That's all for today's video then. I will be keeping you updated over on Twitter with all these patterns I've showed you in today's video. So if you enjoyed, please smash a like, subscribe and share this video so we can grow this channel together. Thank you.